Mm-hmm.
Let me set a little timer. So we're at 57 seconds today. 57 seconds at the moment. So let me set a timer for 1 hour starting now.
Okay.
And welcome back to the Oddcast. Uh, how you doing today, Dylan?
I'm doing all right. Just went about the day. A little bit busy today, but that's okay. Lots of spring cleaning, even though it's fall. How about yourself? How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, just kind of like a nothing day. I was supposed to substitute teach today, but I think kids are on break for Thanksgiving right now, so I didn't get any work.
Oh, that's interesting, I guess. But yeah, I guess people are home wanting to be with their families and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think kids have a choice in that, but yeah, I think they just gotta do what comes up, what's available, which is a lot more than adults get anyway. So kudos to them.
Oh God, I live my life on autopilot.
Honestly, same here. It feels like I'm not making choices anymore.
Who even wants to these days? If I were
Honestly,
just
yeah.
like a robot, I think that could be really interesting. All my choices being made for me. Let's just get rid of free will. You know what? While we're talking about it, who really wants it?
Who really wants it? That is true. Who wants it? Not
I
me.
know I don't. Not anymore, at least. Oh, to be a dog, dude.
A dog. Why a dog?
I don't know. Their lives are so easy. Eat, sleep, poop, play. They like live rent free at owners' houses and get food and love and attention. Like, oh, to be a dog. What an easy life.
True, to be honest. Although, unless you're like one of those abused dogs.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun, but that could go the same thing for people. You could be an abused person.
I
I
guess we.
feel abused by everyday life.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we are abused people. Would it be better to be an abused person or a abused dog?
Um, Considering we have the mental capacity to think about it and be depressed about it, probably a dog.
Yeah, honestly, that's fair. So, anything else happened since I last saw you uh, on this podcast?
Nothing monumental, I would say. Um, I watched a lady. I was at a bar the other day, and I watched a lady. Poor, bless her soul, poor thing, fell down a flight of stairs and landed on her face.
Holy shit! How old was she?
She looked like she was mid to late 50s.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God! I hope she's okay.
Yeah, poor thing.
Jesus Christ. Well, I had an embarrassing story this weekend that I'm really ready to tell in front of thousands of people if this
Oh
ever
boy,
gets
let's hear it.
popular. So you know our friend Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
So for the audience, she works at a dancer as a dancer at a gay bar called the Abbey, and the dancers there dress kind of scantily cladded. Um, anyway, so my girlfriend Arabella, she invited me on a TMZ tour of LA, and we pulled up to the Abbey on the tour, and I saw
Oh
her
boy.
dancing there outside. And in my head, I'm like, oh shit, that's my friend. Wouldn't it be so funny if I waved to her from a bus? And I yelled out to her while she's dancing in like basically a bikini and said, "Hey Victoria." And she did not hear me, but everybody on the bus did. And
You just put yourself in that spot.
I put myself in the worst spot because like there I am with, clearly with my girlfriend on a date, yelling out to a dancer who isn't acknowledging me at a gay bar. And I could
That's
feel the stares coming down at me.
Oh, you just gave yourself quite the the title, I guess.
The title.
Yeah, being that person.
Yeah, right.
Not everyone thinks you're a frequent at the Abbey and that you're cheating on your girl with a dancer at this gay bar.
Yeah, and very blatantly too. To call out to them. Uh, well, she's
At
sitting
least
right
you said
next
a
to me.
woman's name and not a man's name. That would have been a little bit more confusing for everyone.
Well, then they probably would have just assumed that I'm gay. In fact, it probably looks worse
It might
this
have been.
way.
It might have been. Yeah, it might have been better if you said a guy's name.
Yeah, it probably would have been better if I said a guy's name because now it looks like not only I'm a straight man going to a gay bar, familiarizing myself with the dancers and yelling out them out of
He's
TMZ buses.
shameless enough to yell out their names from the TMZ tour bus.
Oh my god, I like I didn't realize it at first because my first instinct is, oh, I'm saying hi to my friend who I've known since college. I didn't really think of anything of it, but then I felt everybody stare at me, and then it sunk in exactly how it looked, and I uh, I wanted to just hide my face, like literally. From that point on, the tour guide started like shying away from me.
Oh no,
Just
didn't even want
not
to
to.
converse with
Didn't
you.
even want to converse with me. It was abysmal. I've rarely been more embarrassed than I was right then.
Doesn't get more wakey big mistakey than that right there.
No, no, it really doesn't, honestly. And I pretended like I was over it, but I was not over it. I was like washing the dishes later. I'm like, I can't believe I just fucking did that. I know I'll never see
It
these
sounds
fucking.
like you're still not over it now.
I'm not over it right now. That was like traumatizing. I don't even know why it was traumatizing, but it was traumatizing. Like, obviously, what do I care what some people on a TMZ bus tour think of me? But
Yeah, some people you're never gonna see again, but
never ever gonna see again. But I do. I do. That was just, because at that point, so the bus tour, if anyone's familiar with LA, the bus tour starts in Hollywood, goes all the way over to Beverly Hills and WeHo, and the Abbey is in WeHo. So at that point, we were just turning around to go back to Hollywood. So we had about an hour left on the tour.
at least you probably were a really fun topic for like couples and families later that day. You know, you
Uh,
gave some people something to talk about.
I think I kind
You,
of ruined the tour for other people because they all looked so uncomfortable right after that. Like
if their tour got ruined by that, then they're not fun people. Okay, wait, let's talk about that. You know, like
yeah, but
if
but
someone
but nobody
embarrasses
laughed.
themselves, well, yeah, they probably felt bad for you or your girlfriend, but if people are embarrassed by that or their day's ruined by that, they need to grow up because like you just embarrassed yourself in front of all of these people. The least that they could do is find some enjoyment out of your pain.
That is true. They could do that for my sake. For my sake, they could do that.
Yeah, like if that ruined their tour, then like take your head out of your ass because like come on. Like that's funny.
It is pretty fucking
If I was on a tour like that and somebody just like embarrassed themselves like that, like I would just laugh my ass off. I'd just be like, "Yeah, dude, that was funny." Like
it was pretty fucking
they
like
just like outwardly admitted to cheating on their girlfriend. Like, that's
not
pretty
only
funny.
that, like not even admitting to cheating because that isn't what it looks like either. Because keep in mind she didn't hear me. She didn't make eye contact with me or respond back. And it kind of looked like she was trying to ignore me.
Oh no.
At least that's what I would have pictured if I if I was witnessing it as a third person. I would think, oh shit, this is like a dude who constantly harasses this woman at this bar. I wouldn't even think that. That's like I wouldn't even just think like, oh, he's cheating. I would think that he goes to a gay bar by himself and harasses this woman.
Harasses this poor woman.
This poor woman.
Oh no, your image has just been ruined.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely. I can never work at TMZ ever because apparently, like these people, like actually, like who do the tours know the people who run the show. Like they come on the show sometimes apparently.
Oh, interesting.
Um, so
Be
like
curious about that.
if I ever went to interview for TMZ or something and I get that person, I am so fucked. Like I don't even like I couldn't explain it off. Like, oh yeah,
Just
I do know her and no it's not from there. You gotta believe me.
you gotta believe me, please. I promise I don't frequent the Abbey just to harass this poor girl.
You gotta believe me, please. Like
Yeah, there's really no helping yourself out of that situation if
no,
that were to ever
because
happen.
it just doesn't look like that. There's no way to get them to believe that that's the case. So yeah, that was my weekend. It was pretty fun otherwise. The tour was pretty cool. I went down streets that I'd never been down before.
I've never done one of those bus tours before. I always just kind of like I see them go by, while I'm like doing my thing, going about my day. Um, I say going about my day, but usually it's going to a bar to get shit faced so I can lament the past day. But I see them going by and I'm just like, do people really enjoy doing this? Like that occurs to me every time I see one.
Um,
Because I mean, I guess the reason I think about that is I live there. I don't need a bus tour of the area. I can just
right?
drive up and down the road or walk up and down the road.
You know what was
But I think you go ahead.
what I was gonna say. What was kind of interesting is half the bus tour, like when we went around and asked where we were from, half the bus tour were LA locals apparently.
Wow.
So I mean, maybe they're like from the valley and they never come down, like they're commuters.
Yeah, it's a new area for them. That really makes you wonder, though. I mean, maybe they are just that entertaining.
I
I
mean,
guess I guess that is a way to learn more about an area. Like if you don't know about some cool spots, you only know about a few in the area, or like haven't explored it fully. It's a way to learn more about it.
yeah, I mean, the TMZ one was like a little bit funny because like basically they drove you around and like the landmarks were just places where drama happened, like celebrity drama happened. Like they just stop at a random intersection and be like, "This is where so and so tried to solicit a prostitute," and then they'll play the clip that they got on TMZ.
Oh, that's pretty entertaining. Okay. Yeah, I can see how that can be fun.
It was honestly pretty fun.
I hope they have no clips of me soliciting prostitutes. I wouldn't want that to come up.
Then like I don't think they do. Hopefully not.
Fingers crossed.
What else? And I learned new things about places that I had already been. Like, you know, remember when I got slapped really hard and then I went deaf in the left ear?
Yes, I do.
So I got I was calling around for ENTs all over the place, which is an ear, nose, and throat doctor.
Right.
And the one that I ended up going to was one in Beverly Hills, and at Cedar Sinai.
Big spender.
And I forget exactly what happened there, but for whatever reason they made Cedar Sinai. Uh, it was only $20 after insurance, but for whatever reason they made Cedar Sinai part of the tour.
Hmm.
As something happened there, I forget what. But I remember I was pretty amused by it in the moment when I when I learned about it. But I forget what happened now. So clearly it wasn't that amusing.
I guess it was amusing that you had a memory to connect with it. Cool.
Yeah. That's kind of what it was amusing about it. It's like, oh yeah, I think like like I don't know, someone getting something removed out of their ass or something. I don't know. Celebrities are up to weird shit.
Oh boy.
Honestly, some of their stories were more embarrassing. Definitely more embarrassing than what I what happened to me. So that gave me some sort of solace to know, hey, I might have embarrassed myself today, but these guys embarrass themselves on national television for the entire world to see, and are still rich and famous.
Oh yeah, and that content's still being used for people's entertainment by the TMZ tour bus.
Right? So, you know what? Yeah, it could be worse.
Yeah, it takes you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some. Like nothing stopping me from being successful because of it, except for being successful at TMZ, probably.
I would be really surprised if they like turned you away for that reason. But
I mean,
it's probably
they
wouldn't be the first time something like that happened.
they probably wouldn't. But if I were to interview with that lady, she probably like who did the tour, she probably would. I would assume. I mean, if I had witnessed that, I would turn myself away, personally.
If I witnessed that, I would give you my job. I would
It's like,
give
wow,
you the highest position possible.
like we need more possible scumbags at this company.
Oh boy.
So,
You know what came to my mind earlier today?
what's that?
The type of people that so this is regarding my roommate, and it just kind of blows my mind that people will do this. Like have pets, like be, having a pet's a big responsibility, right?
Yeah, huge.
They're basically your kid. You got to take care of them. You got to pay attention to them. You got to pay for them, like vet bills, food, grooming, all the whatnot. Having a pet and then just disappearing for a week or two, to go on a random trip that you didn't preemptively speak to anyone or had planned out, just on a whim, and just leave your pet there with no regard. It really grinds my gears because my roommate just randomly, and you know what? He went home for Thanksgiving to see his family. That's fine. Nothing wrong with the fact that he went home. It's just that he disappeared and then sends me a text that the later that afternoon. He's like, "I need you to watch my cat." I'm like, this is not my pet. I'm allergic to cats, and I now have to take care of your cat because you just randomly disappeared and didn't want to board it or
Mm-hmm.
have a friend that could have the cat stay with them or anything. Maybe I'm selfish for not wanting to take care of the cat even though it lives with me, but
No, no, no. I honestly, so before I started living where I'm living right now, uh, I'm just gonna go ahead and put them on blast. I had a roommate named Liv. You you
oh
know
boy,
you know Liv?
I know who you're talking about.
Okay, so she would do the same thing, except pretty much on a weekly basis, uh, with no announcement. So I was living there for only 2 months. In the time I was living there, she was probably only home for a total of like 14 days. She would
Which is
just
absurd.
no,
Yeah.
she would just pop back in and then leave. And it was funny because she would pop back in, you know, immediately text me about like the dishes I left in the sink or something. And then leave
Oh,
again for like another week.
that is the worst part about ghost roommates because I also have not the same one I was just talking about. What made me mad about him leaving is that he just expects me to take care of his animals. It's like, dude, that's your pet. The cat doesn't even like me. I never did anything wrong to the cat. I actually buy it toys and treats all the time to try and make it like me, but it just doesn't like me. But my other roommate, so there's actually a third bedroom in my apartment that the door has not been opened to it for 5 months because he's not been here.
5 months.
5 months, I have not seen this guy. And he's moved in, all his stuff is in there, Like he's got like actual stuff in the kitchen, like of course no groceries because he hasn't been here in 5 months. But like has actual clothes and like a bed and like an actually like designed and like well put together bedroom. Um, haven't seen him in 5 months. And then it was like, what was it like? There was one interval where he disappeared for 3 weeks without saying anything. Came home one day and just started like berating my other roommate about how dirty the coffee table was.
I,
It's
I'm
like,
I'm
dude,
getting frustrated just hearing that.
yeah, it's like you haven't been here for 3 weeks. This coffee table's not even that dirty. All it's gonna take is a wet wipe and then it looks squeaky clean. And he's just berating my roommate, who God bless his soul is just like he's a really sweet guy. He's just high all the time, 24/7. It's just like it's not in his forethought to wipe down the coffee table when it really doesn't need to be wiped down, you know?
Right.
So he's just sitting there being berated, and I'm like, I come home to hear like my the kind roommate like frustrated about like fucking Chris came home and just started berating me about the coffee table being filthy and like he hasn't even been here. And they're just like, well, I hope I honestly never see this guy because if he comes home and says something like that to me, he's getting his shit pushed in.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, in my in her def- not even in her defense, but I never really stood up for myself during that time just because I was like, I'm out of like I knew I was gonna leave in a month or two. Like I was like, let's just
He's
not
just like,
cause
whatever,
a
yeah,
fight.
deal with it, deal with it, deal with it while you can.
Yeah, like I'll put up with it. I'm gonna be out of here soon, and it will be just fine. But like the just to make matters worse, though, like the thing about the pet, you know, when she got back, it's not even like she had an expectation that we took care of it. It was an outdoor cat, so I think she just expected it to take care of itself. Because when she would come
Right.
back, she never asked if I fed it.
Just didn't even really like
Didn't even really care.
care.
No, she would just come back and say hi to the cat, like, and then play with it, like it's her one love, and then ditch it for another month. And
Yeah, why do you have the pet at that point? Obviously you don't care. If I go somewhere, like if I plan on going somewhere, I will like pull out all the stops to find a home for my dog while I'm gone, or I just bring him with me.
yeah, no, exactly. And at one point when I was staying there, the cat ran away. It was gone for like 2 weeks, and like that was the longest I ever saw her stay there. Granted, she did look really hard for the cat, putting like signs out and everything, but like I don't know, maybe you wouldn't have ran away if it didn't have to rely on your roommates for food.
Yeah, if its mom wasn't just gone all the time.
Right? And also about the dishes thing. I come to find out at the end of the year that like yeah, so I left a lot of dirty dishes in the sink. I was fucking busy. Was moving into this house and then back out in 2 months. So all of my stuff. I got a new job that month. I was busy. And like I slacked a little bit on the dishes, but at least they were in the sink. I come to find out at the end of the year that there were a whole pile of dirty dishes in the backyard that she put there.
Just why? Of all
They
the spots to put dirty dishes?
in the fucking backyard. And I come to find out that like also according to her roommates, this is her improving.
Oh no.
She was worse before.
Inconsiderate roommates are the worst. I lived alone for a year, so like I got really spoiled just being on my own because every mess was my own. And for the most part, it was almost always clean. I didn't have to worry about noise or just like someone just leaving shit out. Like one of my oh my god, my roommate, the one that smokes all the time, he will just he loves milk. He drinks milk nonstop, like it's fucking water. And just leaves the milk jug sitting out on the counter. He'll have like gone to bed and I'll just like walk out into the kitchen. There's just the milk jug sitting there. And I'm just like, I don't I don't drink milk. I'm lactose intolerant, but like even I know to put it back in the fucking fridge.
Yeah, it's gonna
It's gonna
smell.
spoil.
Yeah.
Like how can don't be inconsiderate. Clean up your own messes. It's so easy.
I mean, honestly, that one has a simple solution. Just let
Put
it
the milk
spoil.
back in the yeah. Okay, see, I need to start doing that instead of I need to stop momming him. I think my actual I've talked to my brother about it because my brother was in a similar situation where like he just kind of like hated living with his roommates because they were always messy and inconsiderate and like being really gross and I would like and he lived alone and then moved back in with someone, same thing I did. And he was just like, yeah, dude, just stop momming him. Leave his messes for him. And then when he realizes that he needs to start cleaning them up, let him do it. Don't help. I just, I guess I'm a little bit too OCD. I can't just see a mess and leave it.
Mm. Although I have to say, that kind of annoys me too. I mean, all right. To be fair, maybe I shouldn't be leaving messes or anything like that. But like, what I don't like is like having someone clean up my mess after me and then just harboring resentment towards me about it. Like, like my first roommate. Like, I mean, I can't say I was a great roommate at Oasis, but Oasis was a shithole. Which was like my first
Oasis
house.
was a shithole.
So I
Yeah.
really felt no motivation to clean it anyway because I clean it and it looks disgusting regardless. Uh, with the mold on the wall and everything.
It was kind of raggedy, no matter how much effort you put into it, unfortunately.
But yeah, like my roommate Drake would like ask me to clean the dishes, and I would say yes when I'll get around to it. And then the next hour, he would just go and do them, and then he would be mad at me. Uh, and sometimes like I say that I'll do it, and I don't get around to it just yet, but I always planned on doing it. With my new roommate with Taylor, I actually kind of really like the setup because he'll tell me to do them, and then he won't touch them. He'll just keep pestering me until I do them, and then I do them, and there's no resentment, and it works out really, really, really well for me, honestly, because like this way, I'm still doing my shit, and I don't need to feel necessarily guilty about
For not having done it, yeah.
yeah. I still get around to it. Sometimes I need to put it off a little bit, but at least now we have some sort of understanding that I'll get around to it, and I will do it, uh, and that like he doesn't need to do it uh, to get it to go away. Um,
We would not live well together.
no, we would not. We would not. Honestly, like I harbor no resentment towards Drake for it. In fact, like I feel bad, but it was really just a mess of personalities that didn't quite work.
It amazes me I still live with the guy that I live with because I've lived with him since we were in dorms at college, and it's always just been like I've just kind of cleaned up after him.
Interesting.
I guess we have that kind of like you could call it an understanding, but it's just he's messy and I have OCD.
I
I don't
see.
know if it's an understanding or it's just that I'm probably being taken advantage of. Oh
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
at least it gives me something to occupy my time.
Honestly, if you want my advice as someone who kind of has a similar, I wouldn't leave milk out. I haven't gone that far. It's really just a dishes issue. But like, if you want my advice on how to deal with someone like me, the best thing to do is just not clean up after me, and just remind me, and remind me, and eventually, I will do it. And in fact, I'll probably do it sooner than later. It's just sometimes, I don't realize that it's gotten so bad. I've forgotten about it, and then I'll get around to it and do it. And honestly, like with that system, this apartment has been pretty much like 100% clean all the time, and like there's no like stress about it.
Is that a system per se? When you tell someone to
Uh,
clean up their mess, though? I don't know if I'd call that a system.
I call it a system.
I think that's just telling someone to clean up after themselves.
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily need the reminder either, but the reminders appreciate it's better to get a reminder than to just come home and realize that somebody else did your work for you.
But yeah, true.
I think it's better for both parties, frankly, because then no one feels like,
Oh, see, it's not better for the other people that are seeing the mess because then they have to live with the mess, if that makes sense.
true, but I guess how it depends how long it goes on for.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, if I cook something and I use a bunch of pots and plates, I clean them immediately.
see, I
I
cook.
clean them. I clean them before I eat.
Yeah.
Actually, that's an interesting thing because it's just one of the ways that I was raised, and a lot of people tell me I'm weird for that because like my food will get cold while I'm like cleaning up before I eat.
I see. So the way that I do it, um, and this is kind of the reason why it piles up sometimes, is I don't like to let my food get cold, so I would never do it before I eat.
Well, of course not. I'm weird for that. Why would you let your food
Um,
get cold just to clean up? That's that's weird.
and then like second off, I uh, I usually end up eating dinner pretty late. So what I'll do is I'll eat, I'll put everything in the sink so it's not on a table, uh, and throw out whatever I can before I go to sleep. But like I'm usually just too tired. I go to sleep, wake up, go to work, and then do it when I get home the next day before I start cooking the next thing.
So long as you're doing it the day after, that's totally fine.
You see, that's the thing. Some I When I cook, I like cook from scratch, so there's a lot of
Hmm.
dishes. One night of cooking piles up the sink. It's not like
Oh
it's
boy.
like something that's happening over days. Like just one day of cooking will pile up the sink, and I'll do it the next day. But like as
What are
consistently,
you cooking?
um, yeah, anything. I do something different like every day.
Okay, that's fun. Keep it interesting for yourself.
Yeah, and I can't say for a fact that I've always done that, but like with the reminders, I guess it shouldn't be Taylor's responsibility to give me those reminders, but like with the reminders, it eventually has just become habit.
To cook every day or to cook
To,
something new every day?
or to no to clean up the dishes the next day.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Like it's becoming like more and more rare that I'll put it off another night, uh, and at the very least, I'll try to get some of them done. Sometimes I might be too tired to finish it, but I'll do it. Like my goal is like if I'm too tired to finish the whole thing, I'll at least clear half the sink, like one half, that it's usable.
It's better than nothing.
Better than nothing. Yeah, yeah. We probably wouldn't be good roommates in that case.
I don't think that would make us hate each other because I don't harbor much resentment for my roommate because of that. It's just like something that, it's a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, I get
Just
that.
it's just one of those things that's like you moved out like to live without your parents, but I still have to be your mom.
Yeah.
Not saying that to you. That's in regards to my roommate. I do all the grocery shopping and then he eats my groceries.
Oh, you see, that's something I don't do.
Oh, that pisses me off.
Uh,
It's not even like I ask him like, "Hey, give me a grocery list and I'll go pick it up." It's like I come home with groceries and then we'll like wake up the next morning and he'll be like eating my eggs and like
eggs?
using my pancake mix or like the goldfish I had bought a small bag of will just be gone. I'm like, wow, what the fuck?
That
That's
is
really that's really, really piece of shit material.
Yeah, like that's so brazen too. Like he's not even trying to hide it or like skim one egg because he needs an
Yeah,
extra.
it's
It's
just
he's
like
just
they're
eating your food.
just gone because you refuse to go to the grocery store. Like what? What's that about?
Yeah, no. I mean, like I I do share food.
I
I
have no issues sharing
I
food.
mean, like I always thought like at least with like when in regards to condiments and spices, it really shouldn't be too out of line to borrow that
Oh yeah,
because like
yeah.
who
Condiments
needs
and spices are for like yeah. You don't. I don't need my individual ketchup bottle or like my own set of
yeah,
red cayenne pepper.
right,
Yeah, that's asking too much.
yeah, that was something that a previous roommate of mine got into an argument about, which
About
I thought,
spices and condiments?
yeah, they started sectioning them off on their house.
That's doing way too much.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Um, but with Taylor and I, it's been good. We kind of got an agreement like oils, spices, butters, even even like bags of coffee grounds. Which I usually buy, are kind of fair
I
game.
mean, those yeah, they're like bulkish items, you know. It's items that like it's gonna last a while regardless.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't want to crowd up our cabinets getting multiple.
Two sets of all of that. It's
Yeah,
just it's asking way too much.
it is. Yeah.
If I drank milk, I'm not gonna go like buy a separate like carton of milk, if that makes sense. One of them's gonna spoil if there's two separate cartons because we refuse to share a milk or something.
Right? Yeah, like and in those circumstances like, if I just try to like at least for like butter or oil, I try to just buy a new one like ever so
Yeah,
often.
if
But
you see it getting low, like refill it. It
y-
like it's a simple thing.
yeah, basically it's come down to like basically I get the olive oil, he gets the butter. And I think that's fair.
I wish. I'm just gonna stop going to the grocery store. I don't know what I'm gonna eat. I'm just gonna stop going to the grocery store and see what my roommate does.
Imagine he dies.
I like. I mean, he has like no issues just ordering Postmates or DoorDash every night
Every
for every
night.
meal. Yeah, for like every meal, like every day for every meal. Like does not hurt him for a moment if he just does that for every meal.
How does he afford that?
He's a professor.
He's a
It's
prof-
not like great money, but enough for him to afford because he lives a simple life and doesn't do anything but work, smoke, and eat.
he's a professor? Where at?
LMU.
He's a professor at No way, what does he teach?
He's rhetorical arts right now.
Did he graduate with us and just get rehired?
hmm He
Oh,
graduated with us, yeah.
interesting. I didn't know that they would hire you back on campus that quickly.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know much about it at all. I didn't, I have no intention to teach ever.
I don't know. I might look into it because it is like a very kind of nothing job.
Yeah, simple enough.
Like it's not. I wouldn't say it's easy necessarily, but it's like you know, it's basically like going to college, except you don't need to worry about your grades.
You don't have to study, but you do have to plan curriculum and grade.
Yeah, yeah, basically. It honestly seems like a pretty tight gig.
It doesn't seem bad at all. I've heard very few complaints about him, or from it about him, which is interesting. You know, being like a college professor seems like one of those like one teaching jobs that might actually be not that bad. Because like college kids, like and professors, I think all kind of have a mutual understanding of like just trying to get through this. Not going to be here every day. Like might not do my best all the time. Might be drunk in class sometimes.
Yeah, and like You're
Then
just
and there's that like respect going back and forth because you're just both adults at that point.
right, and the best part is you don't really have to deal with coworkers as a professor.
Yeah, you don't, do you, huh?
No, like honestly, if you wanted to like make some income while like pursuing something, being a professor is probably the best way to go.
I mean, I'd imagine it gets busy. Like I've seen my roommate work for 3 days straight, and it's not like because he's not working well. Like I'm just he's a hardworking guy. I saw him like work his ass off for 3 days straight, just like planning new curriculums for the week, and grading a ton of stuff. Like I don't imagine it's easy, but
No, 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 no. But
it's doable.
it's doable and it seems pretty flexible. You know,
Flexible, probably so. Oh yeah.
and like flexibility is something you really don't get.
I think my roommate's canceled class more times than he's like taught it.
That's insane. That's the easiest A for these people.
Right.
Hey, good for them though.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like God, I wish I had you as a professor when I was taking classes.
Hey, by the way, completely unpodcast related viewers, if you're listening right now, just ignore me for a second. You want to play some League?
Sure.
Yeah, let's just play a game. I'm looking for something to occupy my hands. We got 18 minutes left. That's time for like 1 a.m.
Let's get to it. Oh, I accidentally just started a queue. Um, there was something else that came to my mind today that I was thinking about, and I was like, hey, this would be something good to just like talk about. Let me think about it really quick. It was like not too long ago that it came to mind. It was regarding oh my goodness, what was it? Okay, this isn't what it was, but this also just came to my mind. I guess like similar to the apartment topic. Um, Having neighbors like upstairs, downstairs, side to side, like regardless of where they are, that just like make incessant noise, extremely dreadful.
Oh yeah.
There is I have a family that lives above me. They have 3 kids, all like toddler age. Really cute kids, really kind kids. And the parents are really kind too, but like from 8 a.m. to like 10 p.m. every single day without fail, those 3 kids are just running around like full speed. The whole apartment, so all I hear all day is just stomping and banging through the ceiling.
No, I'm dealing with the same thing where I am right now, man.
I've
It's
like gone up a few times and talked to them, and they're like, "We're really sorry. We'll try to keep them quiet down." I'm like, I mean, I understand. They're kids, you know. Like, I don't want them not to be able to play and have fun. But Lord, is that dreadful?
oh yeah.
Because
No,
then I feel you feel like the bad guy if you like get mad at them for that,
yeah,
you know?
but like you're telling kids to stop playing.
Telling kids to stop being kids. Like, ugh. I don't want to be that kind of person.
Like for me, I'm kind of dealing with something similar. So like my neighbors, we don't have any next like downstairs, upstairs or downstairs neighbors, uh, but we're kind of in a sort of dingbat apartment complex, if you know what that is.
No, I don't actually, if you could explain it to me.
So a dingbat's kind of an apartment where it's on stilts. So like the parking's right underneath the apartment.
I see.
So it's very shaky.
Okay,
Uh,
interesting.
because it doesn't really have like a solid base. You're just kind of like on a pillar.
Right.
And so when anything moves, you can feel it. And my neighbors across the street have kind of decided, oh yeah, it might be hey, the best place for our kids to play is just in the middle of the apartment complex on this concrete.
Oh, oh no.
And so constantly these kids are running around right outside my round right out.
Oh.
Hey, we had a little bit of an issue right here. This is Matt. My audio cut out, and I'm recording this on Premiere Pro. You know, just telling you the podcast is over. Have fun.